if you could tell your younger self something that you know now, what would you go back and tell yourself?
Good question. I don't know. I mean, I think as you get older, you learn there's like some shortcuts that I guess you could take along the way. I think you know, if you can go learn from someone or find a mentor who actually like cares that in the future they can be able to pass stuff off to you, or that you can at least learn from and go somewhere else or whatever. I think that's really important. I also think when I was younger, especially like in my film producing days or as a development executive, you're always kind of taught that like you have to have a certain amount of quantity going through because film industry is slow. Some movies, even the best movies, Wicked, take 10 years to get made with unlimited budgets and whatever. And so, I think I like focused a lot more on quantity. And looking back, I think like the correct strategy is really focusing more on like what the strategy is to a green light, as opposed to kind of like trying to find all the best stuff out there. And I think a lot of filmmakers, especially, overlook the business element of it and the
100%.
business strategy of it.
Yep.
And I think like fitting into the business model and backing into that, I think if I would have focused more on that, I would have had probably more success in getting films made. And also I would have chose different films to try to get made if I would have known better, like the odds of something getting made based off of what it is.
Yeah.
Like today you look at it and it's like, you want to run the foreign model, you're probably going to do an action thriller, horror, something sci-fi. You're not going to be doing a comedy or drama because those are just impossible to sell. You're likely going to find your
Very
foreign
seasonal.
bankable actor or two that you can guarantee, mitigate your risk. You're going to shoot it in a tax rebate state or country. There's a lot of these things that like, when you're a young filmmaker, you don't really think about. You don't think about if like, oh, well, I'm only going to get partial investment because they're going to collateralize it against a tax rebate. You're like, no, you're like, that character wears a red shirt. You're not like thinking about it as like how movies actually get made.
Yeah.
And that's why I think a lot of filmmakers complain. They're like, oh, that movie's so bad. I can't believe it got made. But really, and that's, yes, movies are very tough. It's tough to make a great movie. But really, it's like, well, that producer did a much better job than you because they were able to get that crappy script made against all of the odds of that.
They were able to sell it. They were able to
because they knew the
make
process.
the right relationships
they
wanted
know
to
how
see
the
it get
sausage
done.
is made.
Yep.
You know what I mean? They've like spent the time, built the relationships, all of those things. So I think like that's maybe like in a nutshell, that's kind of like the advice I would give to like younger filmmakers is like, maybe you don't have to have as much quantity, but maybe you just need to find the least path of resistance to getting something done.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you know this. I mean, I've put a little bit about it on LinkedIn sometimes, but we started the Momi 2 College Film Festival.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going into our third year, and one of the things we do during the festivals for the films that are selected or the filmmakers that are selected, we actually put on 4 educational panels. One of them specifically about filmmaking, one of them specifically about distribution, and then another one about that we're adding this year is actually we're tweaking one that we did. We're turning it into more about film festival strategy. But those are the 3 that we end with, because the one business piece that is not taught is the first one that we do is the pillar of marketing.
Yeah.
And so like everything leads into the next as we so we have the marketing one, then we go into distribution, then we go into filmmaking, and then we go into festival strategy. And these are things that like some schools are teaching, but most of them are not. We're talking to these students and they're just oblivious. Like one of our filmmakers got an offer for it was like 11 years, all rights. And if you turn your film or you turn your short into like a series or whatever, they would own the rights for that too. And luckily that student actually was paying attention during our our little distribution and distribution panel because they're like, hey, kind of a red flag went off. And he came to me and I was like, yeah, I mean, I can't tell you what to do and what not to do because I'm not giving you legal advice, but
probably not a good deal.
Probably not best to sign all your rights away for that long, especially for a short film, right? So didn't make any sense.
So strange.
But it was great that he paid attention. So I'm glad that like those seminars are paying off, and there's other stories that are like that too. That really helped. You know, each filmmaker comes in like, hey, I learned so much from this one. I learned so much from this one. Like, hey, I didn't even think about marketing my short film on Facebook. I'm like, yeah, dude, that's where your friends, your family, like everyone that's really there to support you. Those are the low hanging fruit. Just because you're young doesn't mean you can't use Facebook. It's like go watch a masterclass on Gary Vee and learn how to like use every avenue. If you're not on 7 different social media platforms, you're not doing it right.
Yeah.
And so like, are you going onto Reddit and doing what you can? You can't really like promote on Reddit, but like you can do it in a way that it's like, hey, I wonder if you could check the lighting on my film for me. Like, it just gets people watching it, dude. Like that's all it is. So you get really creative with that. So I'm glad you brought that up because I think that's a very important piece to tell your younger self and to tell younger filmmakers that may be listening to this. It's great. That's great advice.
Yeah, I mean, I think the whole reverse engineering how things are made is probably a smart strategy.
100%. I tell them start at the end. Start with the distribution. Work your way back. Start with how you're going to get your investor to make you money.
Yeah.
Or how you're going to make money back for your investor. Start there. Work backwards.
Yeah.
And that's actually been a decent strategy that's worked for some people. So.
Yeah, I think the other piece of advice is like never wait for anyone.
Just do it.
You just like gotta do it.
100%. Just get a camera and go.
Yeah. It's like you don't have to make like Jaws your first go around.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like that's how you get better.
Absolutely. You find the ways to like what went wrong and how can I make it better the next time. Thanks for spending your time with us today on the More For Me and You podcast. If you've made it to the end, we appreciate you. Now, go do us a quick favor. Please like, comment, and share this episode. And before you go, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode with the incredible guests we have coming up. You can also follow us at Momi2 Podcast on Instagram and on TikTok. Oh, and for your next movie night, check out the Momi2 app. It's free and packed with amazing movies and shows you've probably never seen. Until next time, take care, stay safe, and we'll see you in the pod.